Hi, lovely ladies and maybe gentlemen. If there's some gentlemen in here, I would find that to be. There are some gentlemen up in here. I do. Yeah, there are some men that watch me. But anyway, hello. Welcome to the show. Um, y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe. If you want some sex toys, go to Womanizer. If you want some skincare, go to Glow Melanin. If you want money off of some fun toys, use code AFF-Queen. If you want your skincare on point, use the code Queen15. If you want some spiritual stuff, go on ahead and add me on my YouTube channel here, Queen the Mystic. Everything is linked in the bio in the link tree. You'll find everything there. Okay, so there's been this Vogue article that's been spreading like a wildfire. And it's really got the girlies talking. It's really got the women talking. And so I thought that that would be the subject of discussion today, especially because for a for a very popular magazine such as Vogue, talking about this topic in regards to questioning if having a boyfriend is embarrassing or not is like pivotal. Okay, it's like very, very pivotal that Vogue would even let a writer put this on their platform for it to be seen on their website. And so I want us to get into it. And I also want you all's feedback too. I want you all's feedback and what you all think about the current state of how it looks for women to have a boyfriend and if having a boyfriend is indeed embarrassing. Do you get secondhand embarrassment when there's a woman that when she gets a boyfriend? Do you get secondhand embarrassment? Do you get embarrassed over the idea of having a boyfriend? Or do you have a boyfriend and do you feel like you have to do certain things a certain way in fear that you might get embarrassed because you already are kind of expecting that your boyfriend is going to embarrass you? So I pose those questions to you. So you could either answer in the chat or if you're watching this after the video is uploaded, you can answer obviously in the comments. So let's go on ahead and get into the article. It's a pretty short article too, so I won't be taking a whole lot of y'all's time reading and all that jazz. All right, there we go. Let's make it the whole thing. Yeah, let's get me out of there. Okay. So, is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? And this is by Shantae Joseph. The author of this article actually did post on TikTok. It is a Black woman. Just to add some nuance to the conversation. So, this is a Black woman that has written this article. So, she writes, if someone so much as says my boy on social media, they're muted. There's nothing I hate more than following someone for fun, only for their content to become my boyfriend I'd suddenly. This is probably because for so long it felt like we were living in what one of the favorite substackers call boyfriend land, a world where women's online identities centered around the lives of their partners, a situation rarely seen reversed. Women were rewarded for their ability to find and keep a man with elevated social status and praise. You make sure the technology isn't doing anything crazy. Okay, cool. It's not. It became even more suffocating when this could be leveraged on social media for engagement and, if you were serious enough, financial gain. However, more recently, there's been a pronounced shift in the way people showcase their relationships online. Far from fully hard launching romantic partners, straight women are opting for subtler signs: a hand on a steering wheel, clinking glasses at dinner, or the back of someone's head. On the more confusing end, you have faces blurred out of wedding pictures or entirely professionally edited videos with the fiance conveniently cropped out of the shots. Women are obscuring their partner's face when they post, as if they want to erase the fact that they exist without actually not posting them. So, what gives? Are people embarrassed by their boyfriends now, or is something more complicated going on? To me, it feels like the result of women wanting to straddle two worlds. one where they can receive the social benefits of having a partner, but also not appear so boyfriend obsessed that they come across as quite culturally loserish. They want the prize and celebration of partnership, but understand the norminess of it, says Zoe Samundi, writer and activist. In other words, in an era of widespread hetero fatalism, women don't want to be seen being all about their man, but they also want the clout that comes along with being partnered. But it's not all about image. When I did a call out on Instagram, plenty of women told me that they were, in fact, superstitious. Some feared the evil eye, a belief that their happy relationships would spark a jealousy so strong in other people that it could end the relationship. Others were concerned about their relationship ending and then being stuck with the post. I was in a relationship for 12 years and never once posted him or talked about him online. We broke up recently, and I don't think I will ever post a man, says Nikki 38. Even though I am a romantic, I still feel like men will embarrass you even 12 years in. So claiming them feels so lame. But there was an overwhelming sense from single and partnered women alike that regardless of their relationship, being with a man was an almost guilty thing to do. On the Delusional Diaries podcast, formed by two New York based influencers, Haley and Jazz, they discuss whether having a boyfriend is lame now. I'm just checking in really quick. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Why does having a boyfriend feel Republican? Read a top comment. Boyfriends are out of style. They won't come back in until they start acting right. Read another with thousands of likes. In essence, having a boyfriend typically takes hits on a woman's aura, as one commenter claimed. Funnily enough, both of these hosts have partners, which is something I often see online. Even partnered women will lament men in heterosexuality, partly in solidarity with other women, but also because it is now fundamentally uncool to be a boyfriend girl. It's not just the women's imaginations. Audiences are icked out by seeing too much boyfriend content, myself included. It seems, as indicated by my liberal use of the mute button. When author and British Vogue contributor Stephanie Yeboah hard launched her boyfriend on social media, she lost hundreds of followers. Even if we were still together, I wouldn't post them here. There is something cringy and embarrassing about constantly posting your partner these days. She tells me, adding that there is a part of me that would also feel guilty for sharing my partner constantly, especially when we know the dating landscape is really bad at the moment. I wouldn't want to be boastful. To me, that's like a really weird take, but whatever. Sophie Milner, a content creator, also experienced people unfollowing her when she shared a romantic relationship. This summer, a boy took me to Italy. I posted about it on my subscriber sections, and people replied saying things like, please don't get a boyfriend. She admits that her content perhaps becomes less exciting when she is in a relationship. This is a really important part here in the article. In my opinion, this part coming up next is the most important part of the article. And it says, being single gives you the ultimate freedom to say and do what you want. It is absolutely not every woman, but I do notice that we can become more beige and watered down online when in a relationship, myself included. From my conversations, one thing is certain, the script is shifting. Being partner doesn't affirm your womanhood anymore. It is no longer considered an achievement, and if anything, it's become more of a flex to pronounce yourself single. As straight women, we're confronting something that every other sexuality has had to contend with, a politicization of our identity. Heterosexuality has long been purposefully indefilable, so it is harder for those within it and outside of it to critique. However, as our traditional roles begin to crumble, maybe we're being forced to reevaluate our blind allegiance to heterosexuality. Obviously, there's no shame in falling in love, but there's also no shame in trying and failing to find it or not trying at all. As long as we're openly rethinking and criticizing heteronormativity, having a boyfriend will remain a somewhat fragile or even contentious concept within public life. This is also happening alongside a wave of women reclaiming and romanticizing their single life, where being single was once a cautionary tale. You'll end up a spinster with loads of cats. It is now becoming a desirable and coveted status. Another nail in the coffin of centuries old heterosexual fairy tale that never really benefited women to begin with. Awesome freaking article. Hold on, let's get me back up here. Wonderful. Awesome article. Like I said at the beginning of the live stream, I feel like it's pretty pivotal that the Vogue magazine would allow someone to write an article talking about this subject matter because I feel as though it's very important. And as far as I'm concerned, okay, as far as I'm concerned, I do feel as though having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Um, I do feel as though having any relation with a man is embarrassing. It is a humiliation ritual, and there's only a certain amount of time after dealing with a man that you regret dealing with a man. And I think that's what makes it embarrassing, is because no matter what, I'm sorry, no matter how long a relationship lasts with a man, no matter how good the relationship is with a man, it's going to be very, very rare that when a relationship ends, and even if it doesn't end, you look back on that relationship with regret in some aspects. And the thing about with social media is that social media has allowed a lens to be put in the homes of partnered couples, of married couples. And so and the thing about it is that by no amount of force are girlfriends, wives coming forward about their experiences in their heterosexual relationships. This is not by force. These women are cutting on their phones and pressing record and giving us all the tea on their relationships and in their marriages. And it doesn't look like they're having a good time. It doesn't look like they're having fun at the party. They're complaining. It's like every week it's a wife complaining about something, and then once everyone puts it up in her face and kind of lets her know, like, yeah, like something's wrong with your husband, something's wrong with your significant other, they take down the video and then they make a new video justifying the behavior of their boyfriend or husband. Like, people that have pattern recognition, you just know how this stuff goes. Or if they have like a couples types of social media, they build their platform off of being in a relationship, and that whole time they're getting cheated on. There might even be abuse. There might even be, other things going on behind the scenes. And then what do you know? Oh yeah, they're going to be getting divorced. Whole time, like, the past 6 months, they've actually been broken up. The lens, the lens and lack of privacy that we have now when it comes to women being more open about the reality that they're living while having a relationship with a man is what makes having a boyfriend embarrassing. It's really that simple. The reason why women are seeing having a boyfriend as being embarrassing is because women have been posting women have been posting situations with their boyfriend and even husbands, and it's embarrassing. That's why they're deleting these videos. That's why they're coming up with videos to justify the behavior of their boyfriend or of their husband, because once they get the feedback from everybody, and once the feedback from everybody is like, that's who your boyfriend is, that's who you're married to, that's who you're dealing with, then the woman is now embarrassed because she's like, this is someone that I'm saying that I love. This is someone that I brag about. Because at the end of the day, I say it all the time. The only person that thinks that their boyfriend is special is the woman that's in a relationship with her man. It's really not a whole lot of other people that think that your man is really all that special. That's why when women are like, I don't want to post my man because of the evil eye, and I don't want to post my man because there are jealous people out there. Okay, there are jealous people out in the real world. There's evil eye in the real world. Like, women can work now. There is a woman out there that most likely works with your boyfriend or husband and is interacting. I don't really believe the whole evil eye and jealousy thing, because guess what? If somebody wants to step out of the relationship, they're going to step out of the relationship. It's not about someone being jealous and taking your man. It's about your man making himself available so that someone could take him. It's really that simple. I think subconsciously it has a lot to do with the fact that women are women don't want to put themselves in a predicament where they may potentially get embarrassed, because I know that that's my mindset. I know that that's my mindset. My last ex-boyfriend, he was upset that I wouldn't post him. He was upset that I wouldn't post him. And although I would make like little posts or whatever, like a few little my man posts just to kind of play into it or whatever. He would like feel some type of way about me not posting about him. And I told him straight up, that's the reason why I don't want to post you. And that's the reason why I'm not going to go public with the relationship like that. Simply because we could break up within like a month from now. And then I don't want to thank you, Soila Resilient Alchemist, for the super chat. Love the title of this video and the content. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't want, and the thing about it is that I know how I am. I know how I am. As soon as there's a red flag, I'm ending the relationship. So, what's the purpose of me going public with something when I am always going to put myself in a predicament where I'm not afraid to end a relationship? You could literally ask me to be your girlfriend. And if you could ask me, be my girlfriend. Okay, cool. The next day after accepting being your girlfriend, if you show me that there's a red flag, I'm breaking up with you. I'm walking away from the relationship. So there's no need for me to sit here and like put a boyfriend on display when I'm okay without having a boyfriend, and I'm okay with getting rid of the boyfriend. Like literally, I would have it posted for one day, and then it's like, oh yeah, that guy, we broke up like right after. Like I don't even talk to that guy anymore. Oh, sorry, y'all. I was thirsty. Um, and so yeah, and I made a video about this. How I don't get excited whenever I hear women talk about them having a boyfriend. I don't get excited anymore. I don't get excited anymore because they call it the honeymoon phase for a reason. Okay? They call it the honeymoon phase for a reason, because this grand time that you're having with your boyfriend, with your significant other, it's literally only going to it's only going to be a phase. It's only going to last for a certain amount of time. So, once again, it's pattern recognition. Girl meets boy, boy meets girl. They hit it off. He's so great. He's so nice. They run the list of all the things that he's done. They run the list of all of his great qualities. Everything is going good for about 6 months. And then usually after 6 months, maybe if they're lucky, up to a year, that's when they start coming to you about their problems. That's when they start complaining about what he's not doing anymore. He's changing, things are different. There's some trust issues. There's this and that. It's like this, it's the same thing over and over and over and over. And so after a while, when it's just the same pattern happening, when women are getting into these relationships with men, you stop caring. You stop caring, and you get to a point where you're like, I don't even want to hear about if you have a boyfriend or not, because I know how this goes. It doesn't go any different. It's the same shit over and over and over and over. So you're just kind of like, okay. And then, once they get to talking about the relationship and their man constantly, they're not going to leave. They're hoping that there's some like magical answer out there. So that way they can keep the man. That way that they can keep the man and not have to deal with certain things that the man is doing, and it's like, there is no such thing. The easiest way for you to not have to deal with the man treating you a certain type of way is to not deal with the man. I mean, like, it's really that simple. Like, you're not gonna be able to have it both ways. You're not gonna be able to deal with the man and have him not treat you a certain way because you don't have any control over that. You have no control over that. What you do have control over is your acceptance of the behavior that he is exhibiting. You could just no longer have to tolerate it anymore. And then be like, okay, guess what? I don't want to get cheated on. So guess what? I won't be with a cheater anymore. I won't be with a cheater anymore. It's really that simple. It's quite that simple. And then another thing too is that when women are excited about having a boyfriend and they have so much glee about having a boyfriend, I just kind of feel like it also says a lot about like how much work she's done internally. Because when you really look at it, when you really provided yourself a full life and a fulfilling life as a single woman, you really do realize that you were overinflating and overestimating the contribution that men were really making in your life. So, whenever I see women get excited over being in a relationship, I just start to think like you haven't reached the pinnacle of your singledom yet for you to realize that you think this is good, but there's way, way, way better than this. There's way, 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 way better than this. Because you notice that whenever women get in a relationship with somebody, they always like to say, they all like you can even it's even in love songs. It's even in love songs. When women get into a relationship, it's usually always after like a very low part in their life, a very low moment in their life. I was struggling and my heart was broken and I didn't believe in love, and here you came. So essentially, of course, you're going to think that that this man is so wonderful because you were already at rock bottom. All you had to do, you were at rock bottom. The only place you could go was up. Has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the man. Has nothing to do with the man. You were already at rock bottom. That's why men are always trying to facilitate the hero complex. They're always trying to facilitate the hero complex for you to be in a predicament of like struggle, self-loathing, low self-esteem, really, really at low depths of yourself in life. They want to come in and be the hero. How can you be the hero when I was already at rock bottom and the only place I had to go was up? I can't give you credit for any of that. I didn't have any other place to go. I didn't have any other place to go, so I'm not gonna give you credit for that. Be a woman who's single and you've reached the pinnacle of your singledom and you've reached the point in your life where you can spend time with yourself alone. You can go out and you can do things alone and enjoy yourself. You don't have to worry about you're not constantly thinking about what other people's perception is of you. When you get to that point in your life as a woman single, you're going to realize that you have overinflated and overestimated the ability that men really have to come in to change your life. You will realize that it was a scam. It was all a scam. It was just you had to be at the worst part in your life in order to give this person a sense of importance. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. No, no one needs to be getting credit because they took you out because they were there at the worst point in your life. No, be at the best point in your life and then see how you feel. See how you feel when you're at the best point of your life and see what they're coming with and then see if you want it at that point. You're quickly going to realize that they don't have anything of value to offer you and that you actually would severely be going backwards. You would severely be going backwards in life. And then honestly, especially when you spend time with yourself out in public, like that's something that I like to do. Something that I like to do is go out in public, and everyone's paired up these days. I'm gonna do a video on this. I would go as far as to say having a boyfriend is it's a recession indicator. Having a boyfriend at this point is a recession indicator. Okay? That's really what it is at this point. Having a boyfriend is a recession indicator because when I be going out, everybody's partnered up. Everybody's just about coupled up. But when you pay close attention to the dynamics between these heterosexual couples, you're going to quickly realize you're just like you just get to a point where you start observing these couples and you're just like there's just nothing there. There's just nothing there. Like there's nothing freaking there. You know that they are really just only doing this because everything is just based on a lie. Everything is just based on a lie within their relationship. And there are aspects of survival that they need and that they're benefiting from the relationship. And that's the reason why they're in the relationship. They're not really in the relationship because they're excited to be there, in that they're happy to be there. Like I'm real nosy and I'm a people watcher and I be in everybody's business. Okay. I be in everybody's business. I be eavesdropping on these folks. Listen, these conversations that they have, they're low level, low vibrating conversations. I personally feel like a lot of people are just in relationships because they're too afraid to do things alone. Honestly, they're too afraid to do things alone. They don't want to sit with the discomfort of like going to dinner alone or a concert alone or some venue alone, the beach alone. A lot of people don't want to sit with the discomfort of that, and so a lot of people are like, especially men. So for a lot of people, they're like, you want to know what? At least I'll have a semi-permanent person that I can just do something with. That way I don't have to sit with myself in the uncomfortability of doing things alone. Honestly, I think that's what it is. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We all, whenever you get to that point, we get to that point where once you start doing things alone, is it uncomfortable at first? Yeah, it's uncomfortable at first. It's uncomfortable at first. You know what I mean? Like you go to you go to dinner. The waiter's obviously assuming that another person's going to come. So, oh, are you waiting for someone? Is someone going to be joining you? No, no one's going to be joining me. It's just me. You know what I mean? Unless you sit at the bar, then like obviously it's not as awkward. But you don't have any distraction when you're out doing things alone. You know what I'm saying? What do you think of people who have been together for 10 years and then move in together but aren't married or have kids? They don't want to pay the rent alone. They trying to save money on rent. They're like, "Nah." They're like, "You want to know what? I don't really have a whole lot of money. You don't really have a whole lot of money. Let's just move in together." Let's just move in together. I'm telling you, most people that exist in relationships today, it's rooted in survival. It's either financial survival or their level of like mentality and their level of maturity, their survival when it comes to that. I would go as far as to say like social survival. I guess that's a good way to do it. Social survival and financial survival. That is, I would say that that pretty much encompasses all of the reasons why people are in relationships. And I notice the same thing when I go out to dinner alone. These couples, these couples aren't interested in one another. They're not. These couples aren't interested in one another. They don't talk to one another. They don't connect. They're on their phones. They're making small talk. Whenever I go out and eat in public, I have yet to see a couple that I'm like, I can feel the energy and I can feel the aura of them just not being present because they enjoy the moment being shared. It's just like, okay, we haven't went to dinner. Like, let's go on ahead and go get something to eat. At least I'm not eating alone. At least I'm not going to this event alone. At least I'm not doing this thing alone. And it's like, okay, yeah, you're not doing it alone, but you're not doing it happily either. And I'm not saying that every single day that you spend with another person has to be unicorns and rainbows and you skipping, across the, you skipping and into the sunlight. But what I am saying is that when you pay close attention to these couples and these relationships, they're just there existing. They're just there existing. And it's like, this is what I'm supposedly missing out on. Me just having a person to have small talk with and go out to eat. Like, and for what? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And for what? She said, think about it. Rent is 2K with a roommate. It'll be 1K. You can date other people too. Exactly. Exactly. And the thing about it is that you obviously can have a different lifestyle when two people decide to when you decide to just room like with another person and live with another person. Obviously you can stretch your lifestyle out a little bit better. So, but I'm not having no man live under my roof. I'm not living under the same roof with anybody. Forget that. I'm cool. I'll pay 100% of everything. Okay? I'll pay 100% of everything. You don't need a man for companionship. Go and have female friends. Exactly. I was on holiday alone and most couples looked lackluster. I did not sense that give of, wow, we are in this beach paradise and it can't get any better because you are here. Nope, they were just existing. Yeah, it's like people that understand the aura, people that understand the energy, you get it. When you pick up on people's energy, you get it. The whole point is that how people try to sell being in a romantic relationship with somebody, people do not actively display that in a relationship. Does that mean that every person is unhappy in their relationship and they're miserable? I'm not saying that. But the way that heterosexual romantic relationships are put on a pedestal and how much people frown upon it when you're not in one, and when people question you for being single, people question you because you don't want to seek out a partner, you would think that Based off of how heavily this is pushed, you would see people in these relationships giving off that energy like, this is the best thing ever. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is a forever whirlwind type of situation. This is just fantastic. But when you see real life couples, when you see real life relationships, it's never giving that. It's never giving that. Even couples that I've known over a long period of time, it never was enough to give me a reason to buy into this thing that something is wrong with me because I'm not in a relationship. It was never giving, this looks so great. This looks so great that something has to be wrong with me because I'm not having this experience. I've never seen it. I've never freaking seen it. And guess what? I There's really no women married in my family, but the one woman who's married, mind you, she's a stay-at-home wife. Okay. She's a stay-at-home wife. She hasn't worked in almost 18 years. She's college educated. Even she has told me, I would never get married again. And I don't recommend for you to get married. And she is a stay at home mom, fully being provided for. And even she told me, I would not do this again. I would not do this again. I'm just doing this because, well, we have kids. You know what I mean? It's just my reality. This is the reality that I live in now. This is the reality that I live in now. All the other women in my family, the ones that did get married, they got divorced, they never got married again. My cousin and her boyfriend are 29 years old and have been together since 16. She just moved into her boyfriend's mom's house and they all live together. He cheated on her multiple times and she stayed. I mean, I would say too, I got a place to stay. I would say too, I got a place to stay, especially if she ain't got to pay no rent. I guess I would go on ahead and I guess I would go on ahead and stay too if I was getting cheated on. And you know, I guess I have a place to stay at 29 years old. That's probably what she's thinking. Probably what she's thinking. Yep, so many mothers and wives say that I wouldn't do this again. Yeah, and that's whether they're being provided for or not. Most of the women, they said that they wouldn't do it again. My sister hasn't told me that she wouldn't get married again, but my sister is just because my sister never really wanted to get married. My sister never wanted to get married. It kind of just happened. Even my own sister is like, yes, I'm married, but like it's just a man. It's just a man. Like it's just a man. That's how my sister looks at her marriage. It's just a man. Marriage is just it's just okay. It's not this life-changing thing. Like the ring on your finger, the ring on your finger in the wedding, and my sister didn't even have a wedding. She didn't even have a wedding or a reception. They just went to the courthouse. They just went to the courthouse and, just called it. But even my sister, she's like, it's just a man. It's not anything life changing. It's just a man. My family is so liberal. Like, that's one thing I'm blessed to have. My family is so liberal. All they care about, just do what makes you happy. Just do what makes you happy. Okay. That's it. That's all. Just do what makes you happy. You don't have to do things a certain way because the thing about it is that I think one thing about my family, they're not afraid of the truth. My family's not afraid of the truth. So, my cousins that grew up in a fucked up environment, a lot of them just didn't want to get married because their mom and then their aunties, they all had the same experience, and they believed the truth and the experience that all the women in the family had. They just saw it for what it is. These men ain't shit. I'm not going to get married to one. It's not a coincidence that 5 sisters all had poor experiences with men. They took the truth for what it was. They took the truth for what it was. In the few that thought they were going to be the exception, they ended up getting married and thought they were going to be the exception and decided, you want to know what? I'm not doing this shit again. They were right all along. They were right all along. Hey Queen, the courthouse wedding seems to last longer. Yeah, my sister didn't give a fuck. My sister didn't give a fuck. She was like, you want to know what? We're getting married and we're just gonna make it do what it do. But in my sister's head, my sister's like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, yeah. My friend stayed married to her husband that left her hemorrhaging during the birth of their second kid for his mistress. He lived with his mistress for 7 years, taking care of the mistress's son. Ciao. Like, what is even the point of staying married? Like, I feel like in a situation like that, you must have not felt like going to like get a lawyer or anything like that. Like you must have not. They may not feel like going through all the logistics. You see, one thing about me, I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I still have an agency on ice right now who is waiting for me to like do things and get paperwork done. And I haven't done any of it. They've been waiting for me for like 2, 3 weeks because I don't like paperwork. I don't like filling out forms. I don't like any of those things. If I were to get married, I would be like Grace Jones. Cause see, Grace Jones is technically still legally married, but she has no dealings with her ex-husband. She has no dealings with her ex-husband. And she literally was like, we're still legally married, but I just don't feel like doing all that. Like, I don't feel like going through all of the logistics and like getting a lawyer and stuff like that. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing this shit again anyway. I'm not about to go out and meet another person and get married again anyway. So I don't even care about doing all these logistics. I don't even care about doing all these logistics. We could just say that we're married on paper and not deal with one another. I don't care what you're doing cuz I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy. I don't feel like reaching out to a lawyer, paying all these fees, going back and forth, waiting it out, splitting up assets. I don't feel like doing that. I barely feel like paying taxes. Okay, I don't even ever feel like paying taxes and filling out all of that shit and doing all the logistics of that. And you think I'm going to want to do the logistics of doing anything with marriage and then a divorce? Like, hell no. Hell no. I'm too lazy for all of that. And then the other thing too, I'm not changing my last name either. That means I got to change all my credit cards. That means I got to change all of my documents. That mean hell no, I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm way too lazy. I'm way too lazy. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing all that because the men, they don't have to do any of that shit. They get to keep their last name. They don't have to worry about calling for their that's too much work. I'm sorry. I'm lazy. Okay, I'm fucking lazy. I haven't been working my 9 to 5. I have been working my 9 to 5. I've been staying up late, sleeping in, doing whatever the fuck I want. I'm lazy. Okay, I'm a lady of leisure. I'm not doing all that. She said I didn't change my name. I'm my father's only daughter. I heard that, girl. I heard that girl. She bought a new home and he moved back home. She's an attorney and makes 500K and bought a new home and she welcomed him back home. She's a devout Christian child. She's like, along with my degree, I got to have the husband for the whole package. I am literally in Grace Jones' position, technically married, but I don't want to do all that. Yeah, exactly. That's a real thing because that would 1,000% be me. I wouldn't be trying to get remarried. I wouldn't be trying to be dealing with another person anyway. Uh, it's fine. We'll just be married on paper and not deal with one another. Thank you. My degree got my last name. I ain't changing it. I heard that. Like, no, I'm not changing my last name. I'm not changing my last name. Mm-mm. I love it when women don't change your last name. There was this most like female doctors that I know, most female physicians that I know, they do not change their last name, and I don't blame them. Regardless of your education level, I don't feel like women should be changing their last name. But even more so when you're a doctor, lawyer, you have a high level of education, you invested 10 years and hundreds and thousands of dollars into your education for you to put the word doctor in front of your last name. You worked extremely hard to have the title of doctor be added to your last name. Now you have to say doctor and give credit to the man that you married, and he didn't get the degree. He didn't pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for him to become a doctor. Hell no. Hell no. So a lot of physicians, especially Indian physicians, the ones that I know, but these are also Indian women that are married to white men, they don't change their last name. They don't change their last name. Them Indian women married to white men, they're like, I'm not changing my last name. Exactly. I only work because of capitalism, girl. Girl, and y'all, it depends. I might be returning back. I might be returning back to the sound of Ultra for a little bit because there's a really, really good assignment. It's only for 2 months, but the money's really good. And that would really free me. That would really free me taking this assignment. It would really, really, really free me. I could really put my feet up. I could really put my feet up if I just grind for these 8 weeks and get this quick travel money. Ooh, it's good. It's good. It is. It's really, really good. And I would still, based off of the hours, I would still be able to live stream in the morning too. Ciao. I honestly think that that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to take it, make this quick money, and then go back to relaxing. Exactly. I work because I need to be comfortable. I cannot be poor. Being attractive and poor is not it. Girl, I heard that. And I'm not anywhere close to being poor. Hallelujah. Um, however, I can there's that's the thing too. It's one of those things where you free up your finances quicker whenever you have more money coming in, right? Because then you'll have less things to worry about when it comes to like you paying bills. And so there's more room that I want to free up in my life financially because first of all, I'm not trying to stay in this motherfucker. I'm not trying to stay I'm not trying to stay in the US of A, okay? I'm trying to get the freak up out of here. I'm trying to get the freak up out of here and I'm trying to make sure all my affairs are in order. Um because yeah, 2026 is going to be a doozy. 2026 is going to be a doozy. So, I'm trying to get up out of here. Ooh, nice. Where did you go, Don? Where are you? Yeah, this country is super ghetto. I can't stand it. It's getting even more ghetto. It went from ghetto to third world. It went from ghetto to third world real quick. Gambia. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, but business in Nigeria, nice. Yes, my family is from third world, but the people over there seem saner. Well, yeah, because like they're not we have capitalism with like third world problems. Like the capitalism is causing third world problems. And so it's like, okay, I still have to live in a world where the capitalism is required. And I live in a country where capitalism is the most enforced, but yet I'm getting more third world problems. I might as well just go to a third world country because at least I don't have to worry about this high level of like the burden of capitalism. You know what I mean? Recently left Houston because of that S on a liver. I was living downtown by myself, child. It's not worth it. It's not. She said Russian and Chinese men only for 2026. Be smart, ladies. I'm hollering. Single and loving it. No man stressed me out. Girl, I love that for you. Because really what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna take this assignment, make this money, pay some stuff down. I'm gonna go to Thailand and go on a solo trip to Thailand for a month. And if I like it in Thailand, if I like it in Thailand, baby, that's where I'm going. My heart is calling out to Asia. Like that's where I want to be. I know that it's meant for me to be in Asia. I do. My something is calling for me to be in Asia. She said, "You gonna be a monk, girl." Why Thailand specifically? Not judgmental, curiosity. Honestly, I dream a lot. Like from when I could like remember my dreams and recall my dreams, I always find myself in like Asian lands, in Asian countries. I just always find myself in those places. And I got like a palm reading done. I got a palm reading done. And the lady had said that in my past life, I actually did inhabit parts of Asia. And I actually did live in Asia for like a good majority of my life. It's like an internal thing. Like, it's just where the wind blows me, where the wind would blow me, the wind, I could just feel it blowing me like to Asia. You know what I mean? You have an Asian American subscriber here, born in California. Nice. And I love Asians. Like even when I lived in New York City, all of the friends that I had were Asian, but not China though. Okay? Like not China. I'm really Thailand is like the number one place that I really feel called to go. Like I just feel really, really called to go there. Like the level of peace, the level of spirituality. I have done cartography. I've done astrocartography and I have looked into it and like the lines and things like that. And I can't remember because it does like your MC, your AC, um, one of my lines goes over Asia. I can't remember which one it is though. Paris, I feel you. I literally just, girl, I just journaled that this morning. I started feeling bad about wanting to leave the US, like I'm leaving everyone I care about behind, but like I need to live for myself. Girl, that's really been like a struggle for me too. It has. It's been a struggle for me too. I think that's a struggle for anybody that has the freedom, that has the privilege, and has a thought process of wanting to move abroad to not deal with this. But like, it's also one of those things with ascension because I've been wanting to leave the country. Like, it didn't take for us to be in the current political climate for us to be in for me to decide that I wanted to leave the country. I've been wanting to leave this bitch since 2020. And I don't want to have fear be the reason why I leave. I don't want to make a decision based off of fear because I've always wanted to go. But the fear of leaving when you have the fire lit up under your ass because there are certain things going on, you're either going to have that fear if you just keep waiting when you're going to feel forced to leave out of here for your survival, or the fear of you having the freedom to leave and like how life is going to look for everybody else. You know what I mean? She said, "Gotta make this money by tomorrow, girl." I was the token black with Asian friends. Shout out to my Viet and Indonesian. I heard that. I heard that. Oh, nice. Cambodian and Vietnamese. Yep, because I love Asians. I get along with them so well. Oh, nice. You're in Canada. Hello, hello. Thank God I have no attachments to me. Same. Same. And also the other thing I think of too is like, okay, let's just say that like you do the way I think of it is this. It's like, okay, let's just say I do leave the country and shit hits the fan. At least my family, they have me to kind of rely on to get them over to the country that I'm at. Like, at least they don't have to go off of faith and just like go blindly. At least I'm already there. You know what I mean? That's how I think of it. So if they ever reach that point where they're like, I want to leave this place, they'll be able to come to me. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. She said Asians and Russians. Prr, yes. I don't think I've had an Asian or a Russian. Actually, I have dealt with a Russian when I was younger. I have dealt with a Russian when I was younger. I've yet to date an Asian. I've yet to date an Asian. Will you be renting or buying a home? Child, I don't know. Oh, nice. Got citizenship to another country by descent. St. Lucia, my St. Lucian passport processing now. I love that. I think it'd be so cool to live in Japan, but I know I could never learn Japanese, LMAO. I just know it in my heart. Yeah, like me personally, I mean, I like ultrasound and I travel. Yeah, I'm not owning a house. I need the freedom to just go. I need the freedom to just be able to pick up and go. And the thing about it is that, yes, it's a silk robe. The thing about it is that naturally I would make excuses in my brain as to why I should stay here. So, like, I love the pole studios that I go to, and a part of me is like, oh, like I don't want to leave because like I like my pole dancing studios and things like that. But it's like there are pole dancing studios in Thailand. I literally looked them up. Like there's pole studios there. The housing is beautiful there. It's way cheaper. You get your own cleaner. Like they have attached pools to like your own unit. Like ciao. I just realized that like in my time of like solitude and in my time of being alone, I don't want to work hard. I don't want to work hard. The working hard thing is a scam. And I think Black women specifically, Black women need to put themselves in a predicament where they don't work hard. Black women need to put themselves in a predicament where they don't have to work hard. Cleaner and a pool, tell me more. Yeah, one of my followers on TikTok, she's a Black woman. She's from Alabama. She's 40. She has a 14-year-old daughter. Her and her daughter, they had moved from Alabama and they live in Phuket now. And she went on an all girls trip to Phuket like a year ago and she fell in love with it. And so she's been chronicling her time in Phuket because she sold everything. She sold her home, her car. She's a therapist. She had two therapy businesses. She got rid of everything. She got rid of everything. And her plan was to be in Phuket for 6 months, but she said that she's just going to stay in Phuket. It's in Thailand. One of my friends is Filipino, and she also told me to check out the Philippines. Actually, one of my closest friends is Filipina. Yes, Pole, Pete Pole, Pole. So yeah, she said, yeah, and there are so many YouTube channels of like wherever place you want to go to with the expats. There are so many YouTube channels of people telling you like what you need, what you have to do, and things like that. Shayna Conde is also in Thailand and has a 5-year tourist visa and left the USA. Yep. She's a fellow Black content creator journalist. Nice. Italy, I'm sorry, in my opinion, Italy, as someone that's dealt with Italian men and as someone that has dealt with not like non-Americanized Italian men, they're really not all what they're cracked up to be. And the dating culture in Italy is terrible. The dating culture in Italy is actually really not good. And so it's like passport bro in reverse. It's like passport bro in reverse. So like now because like the Italian women don't want to deal with the Italian men, they're like, oh well, black women will want to deal with us and stuff like that. So like now essentially they're like fetishizing black women because now they're like, oh well, we have a new supply of women that don't actually know how we are. Italian men are terrible. Okay, Italian men are terrible. They're good if you wanna have, like, escapades and, like, have a good time and be very willy-nilly and be free and spend time and, have the romance. They're great for that. Like, Italian men are great for a good time, for you to, like, look at somebody very beautiful. Um, they're great for that. They're great for that. But for something long term, hell no. No. Italian men are great for a fun time. And I'm sorry, but I'm not thinking about no man in Thailand. Like, honestly, like, when I think of Thailand, I think of peace, I think of clarity, I think of meditation, and like I want to get an education visa. I want to get an education visa because I want to practice Reiki. I want to practice Reiki while I'm in Thailand. And so essentially like when I think of Thailand, I think of furthering myself spiritually. I'm not even thinking about I'm not even thinking about a man. I'm not even thinking about a man when it comes to that. You know what I mean? And Italian men are great for food. They're great for food. Like I said, Italian men, they're going to give you a great experience. They're going to give you a great experience. You know what I mean? They're very, very good for that. But anything rooted in commitment and like things actually being serious and things actually being rooted um in like a high level of being serious, please no, go look elsewhere. What you think of Turkish men? I haven't dealt with no Turkish man to know, and I don't even think I would consider one. Reiki, oh wow, girl. Starting to see why I vibe with you. You spiritually connected being. Yeah, like I just want to be out in nature. And runs Black Babes Abroad to help people leave the US. Y'all are helping me so much. Hold on. Y'all are helping me so much. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, that siren. Jesus. Black Babes Abroad. Okay, let me look this up. Oh, yeah, she popped right up. My gosh, she has so much stuff. Okay, yeah, this is good. Which cultures produce the most provider men? Okay, in my experience, it's always been Russians, Serbians, um, Macedonians. For me, those are the top three. I've never dated Asian men before. A lot of women are saying Asians, but for me, the top three provider men that I've had, it's always been Russians, Macedonians, and Serbians. Those have been the top three for me. I've always attracted a lot of Macedonians and a lot of Serbian men. Shauna Conde. Okay. Okay, I'm definitely y'all are so helpful. God, I love y'all. God, I love y'all. Oh my God. And ironically, she said what it's like living in Serbia as a Black woman. Oh my gosh, she actually was living in Serbia. That's hilarious. Greetings from Serbia. Hello. Pronounced Shayna. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry about that. Huge Serbian population in Chicago. I'm from Chicago, and that's all I know. I lived in Chicago. And so when I was a stripper, I had stripped in Chicago. Okay. I stripped in Chicago, so I would actually get a decent amount of like customers and clients that were Serbian. And Serbian men will always spend so much money on me. They would spend so much money on me. I actually had dealt with a few Serbian men outside of the club. One of my exes is Polish. He was actually pretty generous. He was pretty generous with me. I like Greek men, but I kind of put Greek men with Italian men. Like for me, Greek men are just they're just good for fun. You know what I mean? Exactly. It really is all men. But it's all anecdotal, right? It's all going to be anecdotal, so it kind of sounds like it's a lot more nuanced than it really is. It's all men at the end of the day. We just each have our own experiences, and based off where you're located, yada yada yada. What do you do when men want to marry, baby you up after 5 months knowing you? I usually tell them I need to visit my mom and disappear. Any other way to handle that? Girl, lie and say you got some permanent STD. They won't ever want to touch you again or talk to you again or ask for money. That works too. When men say anything about a baby and they want to talk about it fast, I don't want them to be scared. I want them to be disgusted. Thank you. That's a threat. I want you to be disgusted. I want you to be disgusted. I don't even want you to be scared. I don't want you to be scared because the thing about it is that if a man wants to trap you with a baby, if a man really wants to trap you with a baby, he's not even going to be afraid. I kind of feel like at that point I need him to be disgusted. Like I have an STD that we can't cure. He'll never want to talk to me again. Like honestly, did you go on vacation? You're so tan. No, I just spent all day at the beach. I spent all day at the beach over the weekend. Yeah, it's a threat. It's 1,000% a threat. 1,000% a threat, especially when they're saying it very quickly. Like 5 to 7 months is crazy work. That's a threat. Exactly. I'm in Florida, y'all. I'm in Florida, y'all. €500 and then asks me to live together. A week later, he sends me, "That's the flat we're moving in." I was like, WTF. When did you live in Chicago, Queen? I'm not far from Chicago in Indy. Oh, that's crazy. I'm from Indiana, actually. I'm from Indiana. I'm actually from Gary, Indiana. GI in the house. Woo woo. I'm from the same place as Michael Jackson. I'm from the same place as Michael Jackson. Hee hee. I lived in South Loop. I lived in South Loop and I lived with my ex in Pilsen for like a tiny bit. Yep, I seen that video. Who didn't see that video? Ciao. Yeah, Hoosiers. Hoosiers. Yeah, and I'm a Hoosier. I went to IU. IU in the house. I did. I went to IU. That's why I got this tan. That's why I got this tan. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I am giving Michael Jackson. Hee hee. I was like, uh-uh. I really do. I like my skin darker. Like, I love dark skin. I love dark skin. I love dark skin. So, like, living in the Midwest in the winter, child, I hate how white I get. I be getting so white. I be like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible. One time when I had a Facebook and it was my personal Facebook, someone made a fake profile and they talked shit on one of my pictures and they put that on one of my comments. They were like, "You bitch, you think you're all that? Michael Jackson, he looking ass." Ate me down, okay? Ate me down. Came with the fucking Michael Jackson he insult. I was like, damn. It probably was a guy that I had blocked and ghosted. I'm talking about ate me down, came out with the Michael Jackson he insult and everything. I was like, shit. I'm about 99% positive I know the guy that did it because there was a guy that pissed me off. And so I blocked him. I blocked him. And it wasn't too long after I blocked him that I ended up getting that comment on one of my pictures on Facebook. Right. Michael Jackson looked good. Michael Jackson looked good, but the insult itself was just hilarious. The insult itself was just hilarious. Like, what? Well, I'm gonna get my wisdom tooth removed. I'll be lurking. Good luck in your wisdom tooth removal. Homie crashed out and had to insult you. I'm telling you, he was mad. I know exactly the guy that it was. I know exactly who it was. He was just upset because his manipulation tactics didn't work on me. What would you do if he sends you a link saying that that's the flat we moving in? Got an offer for us. I know this guy for 7 months. I feel like need to F off from him. He's moving way too fast. Girl, I wouldn't be texting back. He's already telling you what his plan is. He's trying to get you to move on. He's trying to get you to move in with him. And then you'll be under the same roof as him, which will make it easier for him to impregnate you, for him to trap you. Like, quit talking to this guy. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I would block him. I would no. Like, you wanna move in with me? You wanna move in with me after 7 months, like, I run into people that have visa to school here, but how would I school in a different country? You could just do an education visa. So the girl that I know that lives in Phuket, that's what she does. So she's on an education visa to learn the native language in Thailand. So she has an education visa. It's like a ton of different types of visas that you can go on. They were playing Thriller earlier on the radio. Mhm, they weaponize everything they know about you against you. Exactly. I'm like, "Child, okay. If the worst thing that I could be is Michael Jackson, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it." You guys wanna know what popped up on my feed finally? We were talking about AI with Jake Paul several live streams ago. The Michael Jackson AI popped up on my feed today. I was so happy. It was Michael Jackson with a grill. It was Michael Jackson with a grill, y'all. He looked good too. It was like the Thriller era Michael Jackson. It was the Thriller era Michael Jackson, and they gave him a grill and everything, y'all. He was looking good. He looked good. I was like, "Okay. Okay, AI Michael, I see you." I see you. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think I even saved it. Did I save it? Let's see. Huh, I did save it. I'm hollering. Oh, I can't play the music. I gotta turn it down because they'll pick it up and then they'll demonetize the video. Cat, I'm looking good. Look at the grill. Oh, I'm playing the music. God damn it. You can hear the music. But they had Michael looking good, honey. They had Michael's grill looking good, honey. Yeah, I feel like she's trolling. It might be a troll. I don't know. Just ignore y'all. Just ignore. Da-da-da. She said, "I love his money and the location of the flat." Well, then get the money and don't be doing all that extra stuff. Girl, no joke. MJ just came on the work radio. Chow, we got the spirit of Michael in the house. We got the spirit of Michael in the house. He heard that. Hee hee. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is call on the spirit of Michael Jackson and say hee hee. He gonna cut right on. And I'm from Gary, Indiana, so I got the spirit of Michael and me. We from the same place. We from the same place, me and Michael. Literally the radio play Thriller. It doesn't seem like men are biologically built for long-term relationships with one woman. If they were, I don't think they'd be able to impregnate more than one woman at the same time. This is the conversation that nobody's ready for. I made a few videos. I haven't posted them up to here, but I made a few videos on TikTok talking about how men are not built for monogamy, and y'all, the women, they ripped me a new one. They didn't really rip me a new one. No one was like mean or disrespectful, but the message was not well received. The message was not well received because people just don't want to believe in human nature. Human nature is just your default setting. It's the default thing that you would do outside of societal norms. Men don't even want to be monogamous under the societal norm of monogamy. If they're complaining about having to be monogamous, and they're constantly cheating, and they're constantly knocking up other women, and they're constantly betraying a ton of women, what would make you think that it would be natural for them to be monogamous? Anything natural doesn't require any discipline. Anything natural doesn't require discipline. All unnatural things require for you to have some type of discipline. Men are just only here to be procreating. That's the only reason why they're here. And it ain't like it takes a ton of men to have to procreate with women. We have a male surplus because they can keep on giving their fertilizer to women. Women going to be out the game for 9 months. Women are going to be out the game for 9 months. So it's not going to make a difference. If you having a surplus of women, you could have one man and impregnate everybody. That's the reason. But they flipped it. They would say, oh yeah, for one man there were 16 women. Okay, there were one man for 16 women because women didn't have any fucking resources. So they had to alter nature. They had to alter nature and flip it in reverse. We don't need all of these men. We don't need all of these men. That's why then men get mad. They get mad when nature outsmarts them. Oh, well, the women only want to deal with the top 20% of men, and then the 80% of men don't have anyone. Yeah, because guess what? You try to manipulate nature. Only 20% of y'all should be in existence. Nature doesn't need 80% of y'all. Nature only needs 20% of y'all, because 20% of y'all got the best genes and the most amount of resources. Only 20% are the most fit to be procreating. The rest of them we don't need. You need to only have enough men that are strong enough genetically to be able to impregnate women. It would make zero sense. It would make zero sense in the reverse. There would be an issue genetically if the offspring mate. You need to have just enough men to offset any genetic or disorders or issues. And the thing about it is that, you want to know what they did? They literally did they did a documentary on this. So there was this guy, I can't remember what country it was in. There was this country where this one man, he just was giving up. He just kept going to sperm banks. He was going to these sperm banks multiple times a day, and they're supposed to have a regulation on how many sperm banks that you would go to. None of these places regulated him giving his sperm. He was giving so much sperm to families that the families had to start moving. They had to start moving because they couldn't allow their offspring to potentially mate with somebody else's offspring when they shared the same goddamn dad. Because it was so bad. It was so bad. The level, like it was insane how often he was going to the sperm bank. It was insane how often he was going to the sperm bank, and he was going to all of them. Yeah, not everyone is supposed to reproduce. That's what happens when you like manipulate nature and you do all of these artificial creations to give average men a chance at women. And then now everyone's complaining about the birth rate. Women don't, this is nature. This is a part of nature. Nature says, I don't have the required conditions for me to give birth. So therefore, I will not give birth. No one's having to force women to not give birth. No one's having to tell women, don't give birth, don't give birth. No, women are just naturally choosing to do it because these aren't good enough conditions to be having a child in. Girl, I saw this dude has like 1,000 kids or some shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. That's why gay means happy. I always say that. That's why gay means happy. Men know that they're the happiest when they're with other men. Men know that they're the happiest when they're with other men. Okay? It's a lot of kids. I think it really is like 900 something kids. I think in the documentary they said that the guy has like 900 something kids. I wish I could remember the name. I wish I could remember the name of it. They don't. It was an inconceivable amount of children, truly disgusting. No, it was terrible. It was really, really bad. What about women being the happiest with other women? I personally think this is the reason why they had to create me personally, I don't believe that based off of nature, women even crave intimacy enough to want to partner with another person. I think when you take away, like, I'm talking in a frame of point where if you were to get rid of societal constructs, so you get rid of all societal constructs, okay? So if we were just out in the field, out on the land, what are people naturally going to do? What are people going to naturally do? I don't really think that women are gonna start getting with other women in a form of intimacy in that way in a relationship. I think women are gonna get together in a communal way, and that will be their intimacy. And if they have a scratch to itch, they'll scratch the itch. But I personally think that by nature, women are asexual. I think that by nature, women are asexual. That's what I think. Yeah, exactly. More companionship and the occasional bean flick. Exactly. So yeah, I think women by nature are asexual and men are just gay. Because even in the animal kingdom, a lot of animals do this. Once if it's boys, the boys are the ones that leave their mom and they go on a group with other boys. They're the ones that become a part of a group with other boys. They don't want to mingle with the women. They don't want to do any of that. They want to go hang out with the boys and kick it with them. And then the women, they're trying to, hunt, and they're trying to get food for their babies, and then in their downtime, if they can have a little bit of communal time with like the other female species, then they do that. But pretty much the women are out here getting it, and the men are just bumping sausages with one another. Like, the women in the animal kingdom, they don't really have enough time to be doing a whole lot of that. You know what I mean? Women aren't gay enough like men are, which is why that's the reason why this is because women aren't fueled. Women aren't that closely fueled by their sexual urges. They're not fueled like that like men are because we don't have as much testosterone. Men have a lot of testosterone because they need to be able to procreate. Okay, we can only we're when once we're pregnant, we're down for 9 months. So it's not like we need this high sex drive because we only need to be able to have one time to procreate, and then we're out of the game for 9 months. So there's no benefit for women to have this crazy high sex drive because we're out for 9 months. So I kind of think that with men, like their high sex drive in the I mean, it's clear by nature men get off on the community that they have with other men. Like, it's very clear, like they get off on that. Like, y'all see them watch sports. Y'all see them watch sports like they're like you can't even compare it to like a Beyonce concert. You can't even compare it to like a Beyonce concert or like a Taylor Swift concert or anything like that because it's not like you have women that will like listen to an album and then we all come together and listen to an album and we're like, "Oh my god, yes." You know what I mean? Like over another woman. You know what I mean? It's not the same. The level of energy that men harness when they're around other men is strong. That's the reason why they say that like the NFL is a form of energy harvesting. You all know that I take stuff spiritual even on this channel, but you can look it up. They say that the NFL, the stadiums, it's a form of energy harvesting. And they make the stadium the shape of an eye because it's a high level of energy to harness from men when they are in an environment where they are like watching other men play sports. This is like and if you go back, I mean, this is even historical. You know what I mean? With like gladiator games and things like that. They knew back then that there's a high level of energy to harness during those type of times because they know that men get off on seeing other men um showcase their strength and their testosterone, and you know what I mean? It's on TikTok. It is. It's on TikTok. You can. It's. They're not shaped. They're not shaped like coliseums. You have to look at it from an aerial view. aerial views of stadiums, they are like in the shape of eyes. They are. The aerial view of it is like shaped like it's shaped like an eye. I've been to a coliseum before. It's different. It's a little different. And this is also like the reason why when you go to like strip clubs and things like that, like whenever you go where there's like women, what do they usually have at like big strip clubs? Yeah, they have these big old TVs, and they're always going to be promoting the NFL game, the basketball games and stuff like that, because they understand that it's a high level of energy to harness when men are watching sports. It's a very, very high level of energy for men to harness sports. This is why like DV goes up on the day of the NFL. There's a lot of destruction that happens the day of like the Super Bowl. DV goes up the day of the Super Bowl because they're harnessing everybody's energy. I've yet to see the movie Him, and I completely forgot about it because I actually remembered I had seen the preview for Him when I went to go see Sinners. And it was really I don't like really going to see movies, and it was the only movie that I actually, when I saw the preview, I was interested in seeing because I hate the NFL. I hate the NFL. I don't like sports to begin with, but out of all of the sports that I hate football the most, because it actually has a very dark history, in the level of like patriotism, the level of patriotism in regards to the fact that the NFL has 70% of black male players. And when you really dismantle like the NFL and what they do with like, it's slavery. Okay. That's just the easiest way that I can put it. It's slavery. It's the slavery of black men using their bodies. That's unreal that they have TVs at a strip club. I just feel like if I was going to a strip club, I wanna look at the women. If I wanted to watch a game, I'd just go to Wingstop or something. Girl, I couldn't stand I couldn't stand when the clubs would advertise the games. But the way the club sees it, they're like, okay, the energy is high from them watching the game. We can make more money with the liquor. We could charge a special for the liquor and the food. And then like also I can't get past them strip clubs like King of Diamonds. Like King of Diamonds is known for having like really good wings. Like I just don't know how I feel about that. Like the TV is already kind of a stretch, but I don't know. Like could you just imagine having like a six-piece lemon pepper and you're just eating and you're like, and there's just this woman like shaking ass in front of you? Like it's like, can't you go someplace else to eat? Yeah, it's all of that. It's energy harvesting, humiliation rituals. Um, it's a lot. They should remove TVs from strip clubs like they do clocks at casinos. I agree. Yeah, and then they become violent, and then guess what? The NFL is nowhere in sight. The NFL's like, we don't know that man. We don't know that person. Like, no, that constant impact on their brain, it does something to them. I'm sorry, it does do something to them. The sovereign woman revealing she has a boyfriend recently was surprising, to be honest. She been had a boyfriend. She been had a boyfriend. It's a white guy. She been seeing him. Football is like, hey, want to watch a bunch of sweaty dudes in tight pants give each other brain damage? I can't. I like, ugh, I just can't. Yeah, she been had a man. She been had a man. I mean, honestly, I think that I'm probably the only person in the decentering men space that does not have a partner. I think I'm the only person. Shira is married. YV Edit is married. Bourbon Bougie is married. Princella the Queenmaker has a girlfriend. The Sovereign Woman has a boyfriend. Sorry, I didn't mean to say girlfriend. The Sovereign Woman has a boyfriend. Um, yeah, I think I'm yeah, I that's it. Mel Hamlet is married. I'm trying to think of anybody else. But yeah, Jules is engaged, correct? Jules is engaged. Red Witch she'll never say. She's even said it herself that she'll never say. Um, Okay, so y'all said that Miss Conde also doesn't have a boyfriend. I have flawed villain blocked, so I don't know. I'm not in the trenches. Like I don't consider being single being in the trenches because I'm a hermit. Like I'm a hermit by nature and I I I just am so free that I don't want to have somebody attached to me. Like, I don't wanna think about getting in a relationship and, like, ending a relationship because I wanna go move to a different country, or I wanna go to a different state so I can make some money. Like, it's not, yes, MJ Gray also has a boyfriend. For me, being single isn't in the trenches. I just don't see it that way because I care a lot about my freedom. Um I care a lot about my freedom. And so for me, not having freedom would be in the trenches. And it's just going to be really, really rare for you to be able to deal with a man and for you to have maximum amount of freedom. Like, it's just going to be very, very hard for that to happen. And so, and I don't want a partner. Like, I don't want a partner. Honestly, I don't want a partner. I don't want a partner. Like the level that I'm at spiritually, you don't believe in that stuff anymore. You don't believe in that stuff anymore. Like I think Coleslaw was right. I probably am gonna be a monk. Honestly. I probably am gonna be a monk. And the monks ain't no better either. The monks ain't no better either. So if any woman's like, girl, you'll find you a monk. Chow, a woman just extorted a ton of monks and had them break their celibacy. They ain't no better either. The monks is over here giving up their spirituality and they beliefs for some punani. So even the monks ain't got that much discipline. Exactly. The monks taking drugs. Exactly. And I look at it like this: women that are fearful that you're going to die in a senior home, this is why you need to make money. This is why you need to make sure that you have a lot of money. Go make a lot of money so you can just have a home health nurse. You could just have a home health nurse, and you could pay somebody, because there's no guarantee that the person that you're with is also going to wipe your ass, especially with men. There's no guarantee. Men are 7 times more likely to divorce their wives once they're diagnosed with a terminal illness. The picture that women, a lot of the pictures that women have in their head, as someone that works in healthcare, is fake. It's fake. You're not gonna you're not gonna be dying alone, decrepit, and like shriveled up, and no one's gonna be there. I promise. So I promise that's not gonna happen. I work in healthcare. Yes, I love that. How do you get over those periods when you have those urges? You mean like sleeping with them, or like wanting to sleep with them? I'm celibate, and I just think to the time when I broke my celibacy, and like the I just hated how it made me feel. I just hated how it made me feel. And so when I do have an urge and I have an itch that I want to scratch, I just think about the feeling that I had when I broke my celibacy. And I hated that feeling so much that I'm like, I'm not going to put myself in a predicament where I allow myself to feel like that ever again. And then I snap out of it. I snap out of it. Once you start using the toy so much, you already signing up to be disappointed anyway. You signing up to be disappointed anyway. These men testosterone is low. They got shrimps. They can only last 2 minutes in the bedroom. Like, I'm not trying to play Russian roulette on not being satisfied. I snap out of it quick. But I don't get the urges anymore. Honestly, I don't get the urges anymore. And honestly, I feel like once you harness your sexuality as a woman, you don't have the urges anymore. Like, if you talk to strippers, a lot of strippers, they're not really sexual. They're not really sexual at all when you talk to strippers, because they're exercising their sexuality through dancing, like through how they dress. Like, for most women are only practicing their sexuality when they're with a man. And so naturally that's going to, in your brain, give it a higher amount of importance, more than it really is, because that's the only arena in which you are expressing your sexuality. That's why I go to pole dancing class, because I have a lot of sexual energy to harness, and men are not worth me giving that energy to. Okay, they're not worth me giving that energy to, and so I have to give that energy in another way, through another outlet. And for me, it's through dance. Most men only last 20 seconds. Exactly. Yeah, girl, go find you an amateur night somewhere. And if you're scared of somebody knowing, just go to a different state. Go to the next state over. Nice. Celibate 9 years. She said, how can you be turned on by a man who's not doing anything for you? Girl, they don't even turn me on when they are doing something for me. Because half the time they doing something for me that they should have been doing already. No, I actually do pole dancing, but I think I'm going to sign up for belly dancing soon. It's actually really hard to dance as an asexual woman, because being freaky is a selling point. They don't even care how you look in these clubs anymore, as long as you're a freak. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was actually talking about this with the girls that I was pole dancing with because our showcase is coming up. Our pole showcase is coming up, and I was kind of talking about like, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, and people were like, yeah, but why would you be nervous? You worked in the strip club, and it's like all you got to do to impress a man is fucking just lay on your back and clack your heels and clack your heels and shake your butt. Men are impressed by that. When you're with other pole dancers, they understand like the technicalities and how it looks and stuff like that. Like being freaky, being freaky isn't going to really impress another pole dancer that kind of like knows the technicality of it. Men are so easy to impress. Yeah, and it's like when you dance in a club, like a club that you're going to drink at, not like a strip club or anything like that. Um, it's either an invitation or people think that you're weird because don't nobody dance anymore. Don't nobody dance anymore. Let me look this up. Is this the machine that has the attached Peter Whacker on it? Is that what is that what a His Smith one is? Is it those? Oh my god, I'm on this website and these things look freaky. Like, oh my god, god, some of these look crazy. They don't look like Peter Whackers. They look like mythical creatures. I looked up what a Highsmith was. Is that how you pronounce it? A Highsmith? Somebody said get you a now don't get me wrong. I have looked into those machines. Them machines is expensive, child. Let me look at the basic machine. So you can get a machine for $140, which isn't that bad. And it has like an attachment on it. It has like and they give you a set of what are these other things? This machine is loading slow as fuck. I just know it's gonna give my computer a virus. Do you give classes online? I don't. You can alchemize the money by starting a business. Start a business. Use his money to make you more money. It says the automatic machine can penetrate. They have y'all, they got penetrations per minute. Oh, could you imagine asking a man that? Could you imagine having a Highsmith machine and then finally meeting up with a guy and you're like, how many penetrations per minute can you do? Okay, it says the automatic machine can penetrate from 0 to 450 times a minute. Wow, that's crazy. 450 times a minute. Wow. It says the decibelsis about it's decibels. They spelled this wrong. The decibel is about 10 to 30 when in low speed, 30 to 70 in fast speed. It works quiet without disturbance to others. It says the aux fun. You can do this shit on your phone? Wow, they've taken this to like a whole nother level. It says the aux love machine is pre-assembled and only needs to adjust the knob to the lock position. Wow, interesting. In incredible. Oh my god. Oh my god. They have they're they give you these suggestions. Obviously, I can't share the screen with y'all. They have a DP attachment. They got two of them Peter Whackers on that thing. They got two of them Peter Whackers on them things. I get all my needs met when I'm not in a committed relationship. Now I can't go back. I heard that. She said, I just call my ex, kick him out when I'm done. Get you an affiliate link, girl. I don't know. I mean, it is the Highsmith website. It's called highsmith.com. It's just the website is slow as hell. Yeah, the website is slow as hell because it's like a Chinese website. HISMATH, but I can't get over that 450 penetrations per minute. That's I can't even clap my hands 450 times in a minute. I can't even clap my hands 100 times in a minute. Oh my god. Do you imagine how fast that would have to be? My shoulders hurt just from doing that. Oh my god. Get in that Highsmith machine. You'll never want a man again. You'll never want a man again. 450 penetrations per minute. That's about to shoot you out of space. That's gonna shoot you out of space, chow. I might buy me one though. I might buy me one though. Who knows? Who knows? Depends on how curious I get, y'all. Depends on how curious I get. Who knows? My ex tried to set me up and have me unalived. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. The task force saved my life, so I'm good. I heard that, girl. I heard that, girl. At least with a machine, I know how many penetrations per minute I'm getting. At least I know how many penetrations per minute I'm getting. That was a big selling point for me. That was a big selling point for me. You could set the amount of penetrations it's doing. That's amazing. The attachments are insane. The attachments are insane on that thing because they even got some booty do attachments on it too. They even got some booty do attachments that you could use on there. And then what's crazy is that men can use it too. Men can use it too because they got a little fleshlight action on there too. So they be targeting this to men too, clearly. Like, oh my gosh, like in just the toys alone, some of these things look intergalactic. Some of these things look, and they got y'all, they got toys. They got some of these toys and it be shooting out the stuff. Like they have a pump that's connected to it, and it shoots out, like, and these machines are expensive, $159. Like, you don't need no man. You don't need no man, especially if you if that's your favorite event, if that's one of your favorite events, it's not one of mine, but they got like a feeding tube before the peen, girl. Exactly. Exactly. I, what the heck is a click lock dildo? What's that? Like I'm just what okay, so these are attachments for that Highsmith thing. Okay. What else is on this website? This is like a whole new world. Like, you just can't find this. You're not going to find this stuff at like your local shop. You know what I mean? Like, this is a, okay, these must be the ones that look like intergalactic. Okay, they have something called fantasy dildos, and they look like mythical creatures. They look like mythical creatures. Why would I want to put a mythical creature in my coochie? That's crazy. These things look like, some of these things look crazy. Some of these things look crazy. Oh God. All right, I'm done looking at this stuff, okay? When did you start pole dancing? You're super good. So, I danced from 2012 to 2016, and I took a hiatus up until May of this year. So recently I've been pole dancing since May. But thank you for the compliment. Do they have Klarna? I don't know if they got Klarna, girl, but chow. She said website is barely working. It's some cheap Chinese site. I don't think I would buy anything from this website, this highsmith.com website, because the website is like so slow, and it kind of scares me. But the thing about it is that on Amazon, the shit is like very overpriced. But then again, these Highsmith machines on Amazon look way better than the one on that website. Like, they look much more modern. The one on that Highsmith machine, the one on that Highsmith website, that shit looks like a fog machine with a dildo attached. Okay, that shit looks like a smog machine. Y'all know during Halloween they got the little fog machine, the little black box. They got the little black box and it be pumping out all of that fog. The ones on that Highsmith website, it looks like a fog machine with a dildo attached to it. Yeah, exactly. Just don't put yourself in the predicament. Spring extender attachment. Oh God, I'm scared. Spring extender attachment. I'm going to be on here for 10 minutes and then I'm going to get off. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. The spring extender. So, like, they want the dildo to have a recoil. It says comes in with built-in spring. Hold on, I have to read the description because it's pretty funny. Comes with a built-in spring extension, adding 2.76 inches to your machine's pummeling power. Provides torsion that allows penetration angles to adapt to your position, movement, and unique internal shape. Pummeling power. That's a new one. Pummeling power. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It looks aggressive as hell. It looks aggressive as hell. I don't need any additional pummeling power. And I don't need no 2.76 inches of additional pummeling power. Like they trying to have your insides be offed. They trying to have you out here with no insides. Like it's crazy. It's insane. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want my coochie destroyed. Thank you very much. I want to live to see the day to walk again. No, thank you. No, thank you. Having a boyfriend is so embarrassing that I just went on a whole tangent over some sex toys. That's how you know having a boyfriend is embarrassing. We're over here. We're like, where's the link at? Where's the link at? What can I do to replace these men? What can I do to replace these men? Because no. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get off of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can check everything out in the link tree. I got to do some content for the Patreon because I've neglected y'all for like the past almost 2 weeks. So let me get my ass up and go make some content for the Patreon. And I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.